Yo, what's up, guys? In this game, we're gonna play around what I believe to be one of the S tier comps for next patch. But honestly, it's already S tier this patch if you know how to play around it. I'm talking about obviously the Nilah double RFC and the TF Legend. So you just take Pandora's items and eventually try to roll for a double RFC, right? Rapid fire cannon. I'm Nilah because with the extra range, she really pops off. Outside of it, she might get CC, she might get killed, right? She doesn't have enough range. Unless you have something like a Death Dance and like Ionia Spat, whatever. Just like then she could be like a Giga Bruiser. But if you're playing the Bilge Water variant, you want her to be as safe as possible. The comp I'm talking about is 3 Bilge Water. So your level 7 board is going to be Nilah, Ashe, Sedge, Jarvan, Nautilus, MF, and then +1 usually is like Shen. If you get a level, I mean not Shen, I could be Shen, but like Nasus. If you get a level 7 Aatrox, you're high rolling. Could even be an extra strategist like Swain if you don't have anything else to put in, right? So I make 10 gold here because when you're playing this kind of playstyle, it's unlikely you're gonna win streak. So I oftentimes, unless I have a strong board like I do right now, but oftentimes I try to play for a lose streak because you are greeting a lot of items on the bench. That's the nature of Pandora's items, right? Especially when you get a gold opener like this and you don't have item components. Realistically, you can't really play for a win streak and you'll just have no items ever to slam. So most of the times I would just opt to make gold, the gold interest, because obviously if you make 10 gold as soon as possible, it helps you hit 20, 30, 40. So I would get comfortable lose streaking a little bit with this kind of playstyle, right? Like I said, priority wise, I want double rapid fire cannon, right? So none of those are bows, so we're just gonna let it ride, right? We're gonna let it ride. I really want to pick up the set pair, but I wouldn't do it at the expense of making the 20 gold interest, because like I said, I ain't winning. I'm not gonna get a 5 win streak in any reasonable part of the world. All right, so set pair is nice, but I don't really care that much about prioritizing my board strength at the cost, or potential pairs at the cost of econ, right? Because I am just in double RFC waiting room. Yay. But yeah. So I've been spamming this comp for quite a while. I've been lowering a little bit recently, but I did gain like 400 LP in one day just playing it. And honestly, I kind of felt like, I surrendered my morals a little bit. But hey, gotta do what we gotta do sometimes. The issue is I probably am suspecting that this comp will be like super contested. All right, so the reason I leveled, I took a gamble here. Now I really want double RC, right? I really want double RC, but I have a set 2 and a Jin 2, and I have a Crown Guard. I think Crown Guard is pretty good as an item just to slam. Even though ideally, optimally in this comp, you want Brambles, right? Because the meta right now is Vanquishers. It'll change with next patch. But if there's a lot of Bilge Water spammers, and if Vanquisher is still like playable, then Bramble will still be like decent. So I took a gamble to throw in an extra Jin to get my 2 win streak and make 20, right? It is a gamble. If I lost, it would suck, but I think I could have. I had a pretty good suspicion that I will win this fight because I scouted around to see enemy boards, and I'm pretty sure I will win most fights, if not all, right? So I took a gamble, made the Crown Guard. So in this specific scenario, right, I have a set 2, so I think, oh, I just need at 1 Irelia, and then my early game is like a Giga Strong. I'll find the RFCs later. Well, there's an issue here. Irelia or Karma, right? Surely I find one of them before like 3000 AD, right? Like surely before the year 3000 I find one of those units to complete Ionia. Sometimes the game's not very good, so it is what it is. Spoiler alert though. Like right, my board's really strong. I decided to push 5 because I'm already going for the win streak anyway, so I might as well just send it. So this is like a super tempo, but I can only afford to do this because I hit this at 2, and a Crown Guard's like a decent item. This is like one of the rare scenarios where you can just be like, all right, you know what? let me just tempo this. I'll roll into like the items later. And also keep in mind, I am hard forcing this comp, right? It's not like necessarily the playstyle I like to play. Nor is it flexible gaming, but I just want to show an alternative playstyle, right? If you want to really just, you know, degen it up a little bit, you know, LP is LP. Right, I take the work. I would have taken the work like regardless, because I want Juggernaut. And as you guys see, I type in chat, I need Ionia. Obviously, I'm not going to send it because I'm not desperate, Copium, but I really need Ionia. I was thinking whether, I'm pretty sure Echo here is better than MF. I should have just put it in Echo. And positioning wise, I put in MF close to the front line so that she could take collateral damage and then generate mana faster, so she cast faster. Also positioning wise, maybe I should let my set get targeted first, not my work. So like here, yeah, my MF didn't really do anything. I feel like Echo would have been a bit more valuable, and I end up losing the fight, so unlucky. But I mean, I would have secured it if I got any Ionia unit. But hey, you can't get what you want in life all the time. Maybe Samira is better than MF, but Samira 1 is kind of not really a unit. But I don't know, like maybe if I fine-tune the positioning a bit better, and then maybe Echo is a bit better than MF because she didn't really do anything, right? Here, gonna let the chain just RNG, try to get a bow, right? So that's basically it. It sucks that I don't have like a 2 loss or a 5 win. I really wanted a 5 win. I actually thought I could play for it, right? Because obviously I just need an Ionia unit. If I didn't hit the set 2, I would play for a 5 loss, most likely. Right? I mean, I do have an item slam, so it's not so bad. But I was gonna say I'm down item components, but Crown Guard's fine. Here, I pop it immediately. Why? I'm looking for a bow. Right, if I don't care about any of the item right now except bow, because right, I essentially for this comp, you need 5 bows in an ideal world. So if you don't get a bow at this point, I am just I'll just take any component and let it reforge into a bow. Obviously, like ideally you wouldn't even be like this tunneled into it in the first place, but like you just slam a Warmogs or whatever. If you're win streaking and you slam a Warmogs and just play flexibly, right, because the HP scales with Crown Guard and you would be like hard chilling, especially if you had Ionia. But hey, I'm showing you guys like something different. So make 50 here, keep 1 bow. I was thinking about keeping a chain, right, for Bramble, because I noticed there was a lot of Vanquisher players in this lobby. So keeping a chain is pretty nice. But again, right now I already slammed the Crown Guard. I have 1 tank item. I need to get multiple RFCs. I need it, right? If I'm gonna play this comp, I need it. I mean, I could always just pray to get scoped weapons, but obviously that's not reliable, right? The reason why this comp is good is because of reliability, whereas like stuff like Mordekaiser, he's really good with double RC, but he really gets enabled by stuff like scope, so you don't have to necessarily run the double RC, right? Mord can be a monster if you're running like, if you say you get like a Noxus spat, like a Noxus emblem, and then you get a scope, and then alright, then GG, I guess. But it's not really necessarily forcible every game, whereas Nilah feels a bit more forcible. Because she's not relying on like building Noxus stacks and all that. I was thinking about shoplifting, but I wanted ideally something combat. So I'm gonna talk about this. I wanted something combat, like Gifts of the Fallen, long distance pals, because when you take Pandora's, you're down combat augment. But none of these. I don't want leech. I don't feel like leech offers the raw power I need. So in here, social distancing is fine, but I instantly take frequent flyer, because even though social distancing is nice, I know I'm getting contested, I know, and this is especially going to be true in the next patch. So I know I'm being contested, so I'll take frequent flyer because I have a decent amount of gold to work with. I'm just gonna send it at 7 for as many copies of Nilah as possible, right? So I'm playing the alright, I'm playing the game where I just like I know I'm probably gonna be down a combat augment, but I'm gonna try to just hit before they do and just invest like way more effective rolling gold than others who are contesting me, right? So I make a GS here, even though I really want RC. Why? I want to start saving HP. And I noticed there's like a Cho player, there's like a Graves player, I think there was even the Noxus reroll player, I forget. But there's a lot of people, oh, there's a Kale player as well. There's a lot of rerollers and they're guaranteed to be over the GS threshold. So even though I really want RC, I'm assuming I'll get it later. Again, copium. It's just a mixture of I'm saving HP and GS is pretty much mandatory in this lobby, right? So, like Giant Slayer, right? So, yeah. Right here, just trying to save HP. Oh, I still don't have Ionia. Like, how, man? Like, how? If I found one Irelia, this game could have been just like a +1 placement off of that alone, right? I'd be hard win streaking, and then I'd be 100 HP instead of 82, and I'd just be chilling until the end of time. Right, if I was playing Flex Bay, I just make this Warmogs, but again, I don't really care. I don't have a win streak to play for. So, I am still in Bow waiting room. Even though this waiting room, I'm in Bow waiting room, Ionia waiting room. SMH my head, man. SMH my head. Alright, so I expect to fully keep loose streaking, but the issue is, right, now this is one of the scary parts, especially in Challenger, when playing this kind of playstyle. When you have 5 item components on the bench like this, you are going to take some losses, right? I get 6-0 here, so that's not very cash money, right? I'm down to 69 HP, nice, but yeah, that's not like I'm losing too much HP effectively. I really want this bow, but you already know I ain't getting it. Now here's the thing, right? Since this is the current Ionia patch, right? But obviously this is getting nerfed, right? If I was playing like a human being, I would just play around the Ashe, right? And I mean not the Ashe, the Xayah, and just maybe to go for 3 item Xayah since I have already Giant Slayer. But right, I'm prepping for the new patch, and BIlge water is going to be pretty damn strong because the three BIlge water variant and Nilah are not getting touched. So they're not getting nerfed and they're even getting buffed. So I'm prepping for the new patch, showing you guys how to play around it. Obviously, I have Xayah and Nilah, but I'm not even capitalizing on it because I'm not even investing in Xayah this game. But if I was playing like super seriously only for the moment, then I would 100% just play around Xayah and Nilah at this point. But I'm just gonna play around Nilah this game. So, right, I'm still in Bow waiting room. Right, you can see this guy. Yeah, he's a little strong. Has a Sedge, has a Nilah as well, has Gifts of the Fallen. But it's good. I mean, I don't really mind losing that much. I just want to kill a few units. If I took a 1 unit loss, this would be perfect, but it's 2 units. Have a loose streak. Alright, I mean, it's to be expected, right? Still no bows. So, I would say, oh yeah, one day I'll get a bow, Smile. But yeah, I'm obviously not going to send it. I actually accidentally send something in chat so that people are coming over to my chat to see what's going on, but nothing's going on. I'm just having this monologue in my own head, just molding. So, hey, it is what it is. I would say this kind of opener, I did hit an Nilah, so I wouldn't say it's like completely low roll, but the fact that I'm down a combat augment, I haven't gotten any bows off Pandora's, I would say this is like a slightly below average kind of a Nilah game, BIlge water game. So, I mean, this is good, right? Like, I still haven't found an Ionia unit. It's 3-6. I haven't found a Karma or a Irelia, but it doesn't matter anymore because I'm transitioning soon, right, out of this. Alright, just skip this a bit. So, we're at neutrals. I picked this up. I picked these components up immediately. Why? Because if it's a bow, like I don't know if it's a bow, right? But if it's a bow, I'm gonna APM and make it RFC, right? If it's multiple bows, I have to slam it immediately because, and then let everything else reforge. So like these, I don't really care about. I made my bramble, by the way, because right, I needed a bramble. So I have freaking flyer. I need to send it to like 10 gold. I need to stabilize. Right, I do have one Nilah, right? But I really want the MF2. I want a lot of frontline. This comp you want like Sedge, Jarvan, right, as your frontline, and ideally another one, maybe Nasus, right? So with freaking flyer, I should have enough gold to work with to get like a decent amount of copies. Keyword is should. So, just rolling. Xayah, it's like I get a Xayah pair. If I was human, I would play around Xayah and Nilah, right? But again, I'm prepping for new patch. I'm not necessarily playing the most optimal for this patch. So, okay, I find this edge. I don't want to dip below 10 gold because if I dip below 10 gold, it would hurt my ability to make to roll in the future. Because if you invest all your gold to 0 at this point, you're gonna have a hard time bouncing back economically. Whereas if you stay above 10, you always have the option of having a little gold to work with, right? And if you have to roll to 10 each turn, I take the blue buff because I want to start building to MF items, right? So I still have to roll next turn because, well, I have a lot of pairs. I was thinking about selling Xayah and Shen, but the only reason I didn't do it is because okay, so the reason I didn't take tons of stats is because I think it's nerfed nowadays. It's nerfed nowadays, so it's not that great. And plus, they're buffing 5 Bilgewater, right? I want to prep for the new patch and play around 5 Bilgewater, even though the current version is like, it's okay, right? It's definitely like, it has its merit, but since it's getting buffed, it'll be even better next patch. So, I take this. I think I sold an MF beforehand, which is dumb of me because one of my win conditions is MF3, right? So I started selling the Xayahs because I don't really care about Xayah at this point. TF, MF. Okay, at this point, I'm like, I really didn't hit much, right? But I need to start transitioning to the Bilgewater board. And it's basically this for now. I need to fit in. Probably shouldn't have sold set, but I only sold set just so I have more gold to roll with, to work with, right? Alright, my frontline doesn't really exist that much. Looking back, I probably should itemize Jarvan for my tank, because I have a Jarvan pair. So, right, I'm still letting the rest of the components forge into more bows because I really need that. But the issue is, I'm starting to lose because I didn't really hit much, if you think about it. I invested a lot of gold, especially with freaking flyer. Yes, I'm contested, but I would say this is a pretty, like, pretty low roll kind of Nilah game, right? So this is good. This is good to learn from. So now my main win condition obviously is Nilah 2, but it's also MF3. So recognizing that, yes, I could pray for RFC, but since oh yeah, so the double sedge actually helps so much. In this case, since my frontline is decent enough, I can throw in Ash and drop the Darius. Okay, here. I could have reforged it into a real item. But I thought, you know, Sedge 2 with 2 tank items, surely this stone plate will just buy enough time for my Bilgewater dudes in the back to just pop off. I mean dudettes, because it's mainly girl squad and back girl power. Anyways, but yeah, that's the theory. But then I realized tanks are kind of fake. So maybe in retrospect, I should have just re-rolled it maybe for a MF or pray for an ally item, like reforged it. But I feel like it's a little risky. Like, what if I get something absolutely garbage? I don't even know what could be garbage, but you know, maybe, right? So I felt like it had its merit to make this, but she definitely wasn't as tanky as I hoped she would be. So right, I stay above 10 here. I know I have a lot of pairs. I'm Honestly, in this case, I could send this 0 every turn, but right, it's not just Nilah at this point that I'm rolling for, or Jarvan. I really need this MF3, right? So I need some gold to work with. If I don't have MF3, I don't see myself placing that well this game. So I'm investing my future, and I'm starting to get hit really badly. But look, I don't really have combat augments. If I got like Gifts of the Fallen, I would probably take that instead of Bilgewater Crest. But hey, you know, is what it is. Here I take a bow because I need to get the second RC, or else she's not. It's not really that real. Like I could have just taken a GP, right? But again, now here I'm hovering around TF and Nautilus to see if there's anything else I could throw in besides them and maybe drop the 3 Bilgewater. But I have no gold to work with, so I think I'm stuck in the 5 Bilgewater prison, which is good, right? This is good for next patch, aka probably gonna be this patch once I upload the video. But yeah, I get the Jarvan 2. Now I'm sending to 0, and here I'm thinking, is it worth dropping anything just to throw in Nasus 2? But I think it's not worth it, right? So I get this MF. I'm rolling it to 0 because I'm starting to take too much damage, and finally I hit this. So just hit, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I have frequent flyer, so I better hit. I keep the bow because right, it has to be RC. So this guy, right, he has Vanquisher Heart, Gifts of the Fallen, Long Distance Pals. We're not playing the same game. Sedge 2, Nilah 2. Oh, he also got Radiant Thieves Gloves as his Radiant item off this portal. We might have Radiant Stoveplate. It's all good. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You might think, oh, it's doomed for this guy, it's over. Well, yes, I mean, my augments sucked, my rolls sucked, yeah. I don't have the second RC. But, just you wait. Just you wait. Just you wait. Honestly, like, now, I'll be scouting around to see optimal, like, Jarvan positioning, right, to see if I have to dodge any Jarvans. I obviously isolate my Sedge so that she gets maximum stone plate value, but I'm not gonna lie, she's not that tanky. Against this guy, she does pretty well, I guess. Right, win this round, it's a big win. Like, I need MF3 within like the next 2 rounds, or else I'm probably bot 4, right? But I'm playing around my win conditions now because frequent flyer allows me to hit stuff like this, right? Oh, finally get a bow of Pandora's, so I get the double RC. I still don't feel that strong because I am down combat augments, and 5 Bilgewater is not necessarily the best. And my Radiant item, like, would I rather have Radiant Stoneplate compared to like Radiant RFC, right? Like, I would much rather have Radiant RFC or Radiant GS, depending on like the Cho matchups, right? Here, I immediately slam Sunfire because I don't have anti-heal. I can let the swords rot and like reforge to something else because I don't care about it, right? I'm just looking for more tank items at this point because, yeah. So I get a little bit lucky here because right, freaking flyer. I hit this MF. So, but again, deserved because this game so far has not been very kind to me. So I look for a tank item. Obviously for Jarvan, Protective Vow is really good, so I can get the immediate cast. I'm positioning like this. If you don't know, it's a quick tip. If you don't know how to position against rogues, even though next patch the rogues are gonna get gutted a little bit, you want your main carry who's ranged in this pocket. You want to have a tank, 3 hexes to the right of the left side, and you want to have a ranged unit here. So the concept is, since rogues dash when they do the rogue dash, right? They go below like a certain amount of HP. They dash the farthest unit 3 hexes away, and since if they wrap around Sedge on this side, say the left side, and they wrap around Sedge, this isn't the farthest unit. It's TF. So then they all dash here, and then ideally they get on the tanks after, and then your MF gets like, or whoever your range carrier is gets like a decent amount of casts off before they gang up on her. Alright. So I'm doing this because I can't really risk a loss, so I have to position against a rogue player every round because I know the rogue player is potentially in my pool, right? So it might grief me against other opponents, but I have to really consider it, right? Because if I don't consider it and I lose to the rogue player, or I take a very bad loss, I'm in one-shot territory, right? And it shouldn't be too bad its positioning because my set should last longer than usual because she has a ranged, and I mean, hey, she has a ranged stone play, so she better like survive quite a bit longer, right? So I have my main tank here to buy some time, even if I do get griefed, right? Alright, I still notice that he's in my rotation, so I need to move back. It is what it is. Alright, I move back to this position. Now, what I'm noticing though, this is a bit of a risk. What I'm noticing here, right, when I'm scouting, I notice that a lot of the other potential opponents have their main damage carry on the right side. So I want them to focus my sedge first, right? So that I'm taking a little risk here by having moving sedge to the right side. And look, Kale theoretically should get stuck on this sedge for quite a while. So, right, if my sedge wasn't there, she would just kill whoever's on the right side and possibly get on my Nilah before my Nilah can get on the Kale, and I would probably lose this fight, right? But instead, I win this fight. So a lot of late game is a lot of scouting, especially if you're high elo, right? Like a lot of scouting, and you have to optimize your positioning. Like every round matters at this point, right? I'm 21 HP. I could die any minute. Like a feather can hit me and I'd collapse. Okay, not really, but yeah. I ain't looking too hot right now though. Again, scouting every turn. I have to be in this rogue position because I still haven't played him yet, right? And I know he's in my potential pool. This guy sold all his units because he was tilted, and he finally hit his 3 stars, but at what cost, you know? So, okay. Right, this guy's like high roll Vanquishers. I'm not necessarily high roll Bilgewater, so I can't really match him. It's close though, it's close, right? It's close, but he just has better augments than I do, so it is what it is. Maybe if like my positioning was a little better, I could have killed the Nilah, right? But I can't move from the rogue positioning, anti-rogue positioning, because if I take a bad loss, I'm pretty much dead, right? So I need my MF to stay alive. So that's one of the pitfalls of positioning that way, because you might grief yourself against other opponents, but hey, it's a risk we gotta take. But here, I was gonna take Spark since MF is one of my main carries and I don't have MR Shred, but +1 Freljord is absolutely broken in this comp. Well, not broken, but very, very good. So I see that and I immediately take it. So it stalls a decent amount of time. The CC is so valuable, right? And with like a very front load damage kind of comp, CC is basically buying more time to deal damage. So I will take that every time. Can't level. Unfortunate. Put it on Jarvan. I was thinking of putting it on Nautilus, so I can save a slot for an item, but at the Freljord emblem gives extra HP, so the fact it's kind of like a tank item. Copium. So I rerolled the Locket because I don't really like Locket, right? And I get Chalice. It's even worse. I can't put a Chalice on TF and give it to my MF just for that little bit of AP. Why? Right? Because the rogue guy is still in my position, my rotation. So I don't care about giving the MF a little bit of AP, because if I put him next to MF, the rogues will dash to the TF and then like my MF will just die. Right? So what I do is give it to Nautilus, because what the Chalice also does is it gives mana to adjacent units. So I'm literally just using it so that my tanks can cast faster. The AP doesn't do anything. It's just I'm down an item, but look, my tanks cast faster, they cast faster, and then after the Jarvan CC, the Freljord CC comes in from 3 Freljord, right? And then this can allow my Jarvan to cast again because he has 2 tank items. So basically, I'm very desperate to stay alive and win every round. But there's like a thought process behind every single like action late game, and I'm put in this position because the game put me in this position. Well, okay, obviously I did force this comp, but hey, do you think this is one of the more forcible comps? I level up here to throw in a Jhin. I was thinking about using Jhin as frontline bait, but then I'm gonna use him as a rogue bait instead, right? So what I'm gonna do here, right, have Jhin over here, and then hopefully he eats one of the rogue casts, right? And if he does that, honestly, it's worth. So I think next turn I actually fight the rogue guy. Yeah, see, finally face the rogue guy after 10,000 years. I can finally get out of this position, but you see the Jhin ate one of Echo's casts, and that's honestly good enough for me. Good job, Jhin. And I win this fight. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mortdog. Now I can finally position like a modern human being. So get out of here, and now I obviously don't need the Jhin, right? So what I'm actually looking for, best case scenario, is Scion. Why Scion? It gives my Sedge a little bit of HP to tank a little bit longer with the Radiant Stone Plate, right? I actually would take Scion. Next best is Aatrox, obviously, and then like Heimer, but I don't really have gold to work with for Heimer, right? So I honestly will take any bruiser. I will literally take any bruiser, but not Cho'Gath. So I ignore Cho'Gath. I'm rolling anyways, right? So I notice one of the players that I could potentially face is the high roll Vanquishers guy, right? So I immediately take Bramble's Vest, and then I remove the Failure Emblem and put the Bramble on Jarvan because it's like a 50-50, right? Because you can see my potential opponents next round. So I think it's worth just investing in Bramble just for the 50-50. So I take it, I remove her, the Failure Emblem, put a Bruiser in, find an Aatrox, so Aatrox is definitely going in instead of a Rek'Sai or a Kex'Sai. Yeah. I'm still rolling for Scion. I would put Scion over Aatrox, unironically. So put the Failure on Nautilus. I was thinking about re-rolling the item, the cone, but you know what? It's fine. It helps my J4 cast faster. I guess I'll take it. Oh, also, okay, this is what cost me the game. Again, keep in mind, I'm sleep deprived. I didn't see that there's a K'Sante, right? And the K'Sante is really bad for me in this matchup because he kicks my Sedge away. And then the next time I face him, I just completely have a mind blank. And I just AFK mentally, in-game, spiritually, intellectually. You know, it's fine. It's fine. So I get a third here because this game could have easily been the 7th. Like, easily could have been the 7th, but I obviously I hit the MF3, I high rolled the MF3, but there's like small things that I did to maximize each round. And if you're trying to be sweaty, you kind of have to do this stuff. Right, like now I'm thinking, oh, I really don't want this cone on my Nautilus. This item's trash, but I have the Failure Emblem, so I'm not re-rolling that. Yeah. Still rolling for Scion. Dude, I shouldn't even be rolling. Like, I should move my Sedge. What am I doing, man? Oh no, wait, okay, so he's pretending he's not gonna kick my Sedge, but he's gonna move it back. And I should know that he's gonna move it back. I just forgot the K'Sante even existed, right? I literally forgot about his existence, and that's what cost me this fight. And this game, I could have potentially got 7th. I mean, 2nd, because I would just win this fight. I'm pretty sure I just win this fight, because yeah, as long as my Sedge lives, I win this fight. But okay, she got kicked out, so. Also though, if this was a 2nd, it would have been even more hype of a VOD review, because this will be very relevant to this patch, but whatever, man. This is definitely one of the more optimal playstyles for this upcoming patch, even though it's not like playing flexibly at all, and you'll be contested a lot. But if you do want to play one of the meta comps, this is one of the play styles, right? You've probably seen Soju do it. You've probably seen a lot of people do it. Different streamers play this kind of play style. I personally don't like it, but I am a slave for LP, so I'll do whatever it takes. But I would much prefer playing flexibly around 4 cost. But yeah, so keynotes to take away. You definitely want double RFC for Nilah. You don't need it if you have scoped, but you can still have. You definitely want 1 RFC in that case, right? Aside of that, you probably want a Bramble if there's a lot of Vanquisher players or Bilgewater players in your lobby. Definitely the RFC prio. If you're win streaking and your board's strong, you can be more lenient with the items you slam, and then just slam like effective tank items and then try to get the RFCs later, right? But you do need to stabilize a 7 to find at least 1 Nilah, and if your HP is very low, you probably have to roll down for like actual tank upgrades and maybe Nilah 2, right? And if you have the opportunity, MF3 is actually really good. So now this is how to play Bilgewater. Very good dispatch. Very good. All right, bye guys.